What's happening, guys? Welcome into another boxing breakdown and prediction show for this weekend's WBO middleweight clash between champion Demetrius Andrade and challenger Liam Williams over on DAZN in Florida. So let's get into it. The champion Andrade enters this one as the sizable minus 275 favourite here, with Williams coming back at a plus 200, as money has actually continually poured in on the Welshman since opening, dropping this from an opening line of plus 300 all the way down to the current line of plus 200, with some plus 250 still hanging out there in spots as well. So there's obviously some love for the challenger heading into this one. And initially, at least, that does seem a little unjustified. Andrade has been the WBO champion for 3 years now. He's reeled off 3 successful defences. He's never lost in his career either. And he's fighting a guy in Williams who really hasn't beaten anyone of note over his career so far. Lost twice to Liam Smith, basically a fighter who campaigns at a full division lower than this as well. So from the outset, this really looks like a tough ask for the UK fighter here to go to America and unseat a reigning champ. But I certainly won't be betting against him here. Look, after Williams' 2 losses to Liam Smith just over 3 years ago, he hooked up with who I believe is one of the best trainers in world boxing, in my opinion, Dominic Ingle, and he really has looked like a new fighter ever since. 7 straight stoppages now coming into this one, including one coming against common opponent Alantes Fox, who Williams stopped in 5 rounds 2 years after Andrade took him the distance. So Williams really does look like a much improved fighter right now. And you know he'll be 100% prepared for this fight strategically with Ingle in his corner as well. You know, Ingle's taken Kell Brook to the top, notably beating Sean Porter a few years ago for the ABF title. He had a poor decision go against him with Kid Galahad 2 years ago also, who clearly beat Josh Warrington, only to see a split decision loss on the cards. And he revived what was a stalling career in Billy Joe Saunders as well, leading him to what has been his career-defining win to date, that wide decision win against David Lemieux back in 2017. And Williams also seems to have found new life down there in Sheffield, really adapting to that hard work ethic that the gym implies and turning his career around as a result. Andrade's career has no doubt stalled since winning the middleweight title 3 years ago. He is a supremely talented fighter. He's very tricky, very unorthodox in there. It must be said 4 or 5 years ago looked, at least to me, it'd be him, Charlo Hurd running the show down at 154. But, since then, all the major fights have unfortunately fizzled out for him, including one against Billy Joe Saunders as well, though that was, no fault of his own. And he's taken that frustration sometimes to Twitter. He said a few times now he feels like just retiring from the sport. And that's a very dangerous mindset to have here against a hungry, motivated challenger like Liam Williams. And if Andrade isn't 100% switched on here, it could be a dangerous night for him. Ultimately, though, I do have to give a tentative lean to Andrade here. He is the better technician of the two. And if he is switched on, should provide a little too elusive for Williams in this fight. Andrade, by decision, is going off at around even money. That's probably the way I'd play this fight if forced. But as I said previously, I rarely back against Ingleback fighters, and that won't change here. So it'll be a lean to Andrade by decision here to round even money. That'll wrap things up for this edition of the Boxing Prediction Show. As always, leave us your thoughts. You can also catch me over on Twitter at the SportsWolf83 and at my handicapper page, Kevin Dolan, over at WagerTalk. We'll be back in 2 weeks' time for the Derek Chisora versus Joseph Parker card over in London. So stay tuned for that. And as always, thanks for listening. Slán Abhaile.